but the business plan helps you to stay guided, and it can be updated and reviewed periodically. So from time to time, you look at what worked, how far you have fared, and like, okay, this is what we wanted to do initially. Is this still working right now? Does this model still work? Or we need to change it. Do we change it? Do we, remove one or two things? So you can review per time, you can update it per time. That's how the business plan stuff works. And it also involves your teammates, how many people you would need on the team, how you intend to, then your marketing analysis and marketing strategies. So what's your route to the market? How do you intend to get the product to the customers? Remember, I talked about the target market. Who are the people that you want to serve? And also remember, you have to provide a solution. So it's not just in the beauty of the idea. Is it giving value to the customer? Is it a solution that the customer is interested in? Because trust me, there are 1,000,001 ideas everywhere. 1,000,001 ideas will pop up in your head, and they are always interesting, especially if you're a creative. So many things will just come at you and like, this we can do this. Calm down first. Calm down. Who needs the product? Who needs the services? What is it going to do for them? You're going to detail all of that inside your business plan. The business plan also contains your risk and how you're going to mitigate against it. Or it has your competitors, yes. It has your value proposition, your USP, USP. I'm sorry, it has flown out of my head now. Your unique selling point. Yes, your unique selling point. Yes, unique selling point. So it has your unique selling point, and what makes you different from others, and why are we going to patronize you and not the other person? So that's your unique selling point. What makes your business different from other businesses that already exist or the new ones that will come? And now, the USP does not necessarily have to be something so bogus. It can be in your customer service, it can be in the way you package your product, it can be in your colors, it can be in something that stands you out from others, it can be a service that others are not already rendering to the customers. So don't forget the value. You must offer value. You must be a solution that your customer needs. And then your unique selling point is important to have that. Your financial projections. How do you intend to source for funds? How is the funds going to be used? So you have to break it down. Then in the case of risk, pitfalls, what would happen if this happens? How are you going to mitigate against it? How are you going to manage it? So all these things, they're important for you to have in your business plan document. Then the members, your team members, people that you're going to need, who are the key elements of that team? Your vendor is part of it. The people who are going, like for me in my own business, fashion business, my vendors they are key partners in my business. My fabric vendors are key partners. So I need them to be able to put my creativity to life, be able to put all these things to life and say, this is what we're trying to do. So who are the vendors? They are very, very important. The fabric people, the people who produce the fabric itself, they're very, very important. The wholesalers who sell to me or who I go to meet, and they are very important. My staff, members of staff who would the joiner and all of that, they are very important to have. My customer representative or the sales representative, very important to have if you're going to scale the business. So how you're going to scale the business to should be in your business plan. So like this is where we are starting from. This is a point A. How do we move from point A to point B? If anything happens between point A and point B, how are we going to manage it? Because now let me give you a live example. In 2021, after COVID, I was trying to produce new set of designs, and I've gotten my fabrics, I've gotten everything ready, I've done my design. However, I didn't have a standby staff, so I was outsourcing my production instead. At that point, there was a misunderstanding of concept. So I'd explained, this is what I want, this is my design, but the person didn't fully understand, and I didn't know that until they had finished production and sent me all my goods, and I was looking at the goods like, is this what I ordered? This is what I ordered versus what I bought. So this is not what I ordered, but that's what I got. And then I had to look for how to manage it and make sure that we got our money back. So I could not sell at the price that I would have wanted to sell. I had to then do a lot of strategy to say, how do we push out this product, to be able to say, let's push out this product. It's not exactly how we wanted it to turn out, but it's still useful. So let's play on how useful it is. How can we sell it and still not lose entirely? Because I lost about, when I calculated and everything, if I don't even like calculating it, but you have to calculate it because you need to know your numbers. Very, very important. If you're going to be able to judge, if you're like what Jagger said when she said, okay, 100% or 70%, it's because she knows her numbers. If you don't know your numbers, you will not know what to quote. You will not know what statistics to use. So it's important to know your numbers. It's important to calculate it. And if you cannot, maybe you find someone who loves to play with numbers, give them all your figures and work everything out. So I lost about 2M. So anytime I'm referring to it, I'll say I lost about 2M because I calculated the cost of the fabric that I got, cost of designing, the cost of sewing it, and the cost of moving it from one place to another. All those things all together. And that's me even minimizing it because I don't want it to look like, we lost more than that, So that's how the business plan works. It's a detailed document, and then you have your executive summary that talks about the business, the vision of the business, the mission, who you hope to reach, and why you started the business. There's always a why. Like me, I shared my why with you in the first instance I joined, to say I wanted women, I want to celebrate women. I wanted every woman to be celebrated because of how wonderful she is and how phenomenal she is. And then the thing on her inside, I want it to. So there's something we say in Arabinrin. We say that when we're addressing women, our tagline or slogan is helping women bloom. And then we say that we want every woman to look as beautiful on the outside the way they look on the inside. There's a lot of women, nobody knows our inside, but very fine, very amazing people, but stress of life, work, family demands, societal pressure, all those things can take away that niceness and all of that from you, and you start wondering, who am I don't even know who I am. And there may be mistakes of the past, regrets, all about. You let it go, it has gone. You are, every day you wake up, you should celebrate yourself. Every day you wake up, you are deserving of everything beautiful. Is one thing I tell women. You deserve everything beautiful, and everything beautiful will come to you. No matter how life has turned, no matter the mistakes, no matter the errors, we're a product of decisions, and every day we are making decisions. Every day you wake up, you are making decisions. So you want to make that decision count. But if for whatever reason any decision does not count, discard it, forgive yourself, move on. What's the next thing after this one? How do we move from here? So I hope that with this short summary of mine and story and everything, I've been able to help you understand a bit on the business plan and how to put it together to make it worthwhile for your investors and for yourself too. But it's a good document for investors because, like I said, you may not have the luxury of time to equip all of this. Remember, even Dada said it, like if you're in the elevator with Dangote or something, you need to have a summary, something, a punchline you can easily say and say that. Like sometimes when I want to talk, I say I help women achieve long life. You'll be wondering, how does clothes and wearing clothes give long life? It gives long life. When you're looking good, you are happy with yourself. You are feeling yourself. Look at me now. Like I'm feeling fly. I can stop and show you my kimono and everything, And it does a lot of things to your mind, to your psyche. And then you begin to see yourself in a different light. Or when somebody buys a clothes for you from Arabinrin, it's another point we celebrate. We celebrate people who give gifts. Arabinrin as gifts to people. Because it's for you to consider other people like you are the real deal. You are an MVP. If you think of buying something for a woman, you are part of our vision. Like we all give with all of our hearts, thank you. You bought something for a woman. Thank you, because you are celebrating that woman, and that's why we are here. So I hope that if you have any questions, please let me know. Let me check the comments, or If Mama Diola unmutes you, you can ask me. I'll answer to the best of my knowledge. I hope that with these few points of mine, I've been able to convince you and not any other thing on how and why you should have a business plan, all of that. Thank you very much for having me. Thank you, Mama Diola. Thank you for listening. Thank you, everybody.
So much. I mean, I'm coming from your energy right from there. Yeah, that is you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Love it. She loves the Lord like me. Okay. My friend of mine is not the
Okay.
Please share your questions, your comments. Let's ask it. Happiness, ask your questions. Ask your questions. You have the 7 figure. Please ask your way. People doesn't know I'm a fashion designer because I hardly put on Ankara stuff. So a lady from church was asking me, "Are you a fashion designer?" I said yes. I said, "Wow, but you hardly put on like Ankara fabric, like brown paper to sketch it out before I can place it on my fabric," and that has been helping me a lot. I've gone far with it. And now I'm grateful. Although I don't have shop yet, I'm making inside, and from there I got one of my students that I have now, and she has gone far with it. And I've been more creative on things that I don't know how to do before. I found myself doing it, and I'm happy with it. And I have a lot of more customers for my church, for my streets. And my business has been going well. I'm so grateful.
Nice, I love it. Aww. I love it, I love it.
So a lot of people now know me from church because of that lady. Telling them my choirs, I'm a fashion designer, blah blah blah. So I'm so grateful because this home have taught me a lot. Because I Google it, how can I go far in my business? I contacted, and she taught me a lot about it. Number one, I should keep fair, and I should, even though customer brings something that I did not know about it, I shouldn't say no. I should collect it, and I should get a brown paper and face that challenge with it. And I should Google it, and I should call her on the phone. She will put me through, and she has been a wonderful help to me. She has put in part in my fashion designing stuff, and she has been so happy that I've gone far through it. Now I'm trying to get a mannequin so that I can be posting a lot of my work, because when my clients collected the clothes, I will ask them to do video and send to me. Or whenever if they are close to me, I will have to do the video and I'll post it.
Okay.
That is how I'm getting more clients online.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much for sharing. I love your journey. Well done. Well done. Greater heights. All right.
Thank you so much, Esther. Well done. Well done. Let me bring on happiness. Happiness, please unmute. You have the floor.
Oh, thank you, Pa, for your everything you just said. I just want to say thank you. But man, I actually have a question, and I think my question will go around the getting to know your number, like the calculation part. I'm a bit confused, though we actually on the dream builder course, we were trained on the calculation stuff and all. But ma, I know it's something that is very easier for people that has been in a very large business. They started doing things. They are able to calculate their loss and their gain. But what about for us? Do you have anything to say? We are not really, like, we are not in a large business. We are just doing it like, okay, we are going to get there. We are just doing it little by little. We don't really have much loss. You know, the gain is not really that much. How can we do our calculation? Like,
okay.
I think that's the
Okay. The fact that, well, you said you are still growing. In fact, the fact that you are a small business or you just started is the best way or the best time to have your numbers, to know your numbers, because it's still small. so to speak. It's not large. You see, when it's large and then you have so many products all over, you then need to bring in an accountant and all those financial person to fix your numbers for you. As you are starting, the best time to structure your business is as you are starting, and that's why the business plan is good. So the financial part of the business plan, they are mostly financial projections, how you intend to make the money, the pricing model, the profit margin, and okay, this is how much we are starting with, this is how we intend to use it, this is what it should amount to. Yes, that is what it should be, but sometimes in real life it doesn't always happen like that, but it still does not change the fact that you need to know your numbers. So the fact that you're just starting is the best time to know your numbers. How much fabric did you buy? How much did you buy it? How many pieces did those fabric make? What are the things? Because one of the things I teach, as I used to work as a fashion business coach, so I teach pricing models a lot. I teach you how to cost your products and put the right price to it, because a lot of times, because of the way, the peculiarity of the fashion business and how it is run sometimes, or because you can run it from anywhere, people don't put in they don't factor in the things they should factor in. So you have people who work from home and tell you that because they work from home, they don't put in rent, they don't pay rent. Meanwhile, it's an error. That you work from home does not mean, are you not paying rent for that place? Even if it's your father's house, your father is paying rent, and it will be a blessing if you can say, I made this from my business, dad, or I made this from my business, my husband, add it to the rent. They'll be like, wow, so your business is making that much. That's good. It means that you are a good business person. You understand the factors that contribute to what you're doing, and you're not just making, because a lot of times people think they're making money, but they are not. When you sit down to really calculate it, when you sit down to really analyze the things that go into your production. So it's important to know all these things. Where you are starting from is the best time to know your numbers. Starting from today, start today to say that, what are we producing? How many garments are we producing? How much fabrics did he use? How much thread did he use? The light that we use, for those who use maybe a prepaid, is easier to calculate because you use in units. For those who use estimated billing, how much do they bring per month? You divide it. That way you even know how much you should be making per day, and how many clothes you should sell per day to make the money that you are trying to make. I'm sorry if this looks big, but it is not. It's really very simple. What clothes did you make? What went into the making of that clothes, including paying yourself? Because one of the things that people lose out from in work or business, especially in fashion, is the time value of money. How long did it cost you? How many hours did you use to make that clothes? That hours, how much is it? Because you could have been doing any other thing. You could have been doing any other work that will pay you for the amount of time you also spent on that garment. So it's the easiest time to know your numbers. The clothes you are making, how much you bought it, your cost of transportation to the place, how long did it take you to make a garment from that fabric that you bought, how many garments did you make? Then you can now decide, how much percentage profit am I putting on it? Is it 10%? Is it 30? Is it 50? Is it 75? Is it 100? So with this costing stuff, is my own feed, is my forte, is where I like to operate. So it's not a challenge for me. I can do, I teach people. I teach people on the pricing stuff. So that's really like my own deal. But I like to tell people that it is very easy to calculate. If you sit down, you calculate it very, very easy. In fact, right before me in my office here, I have my board that I use, and then call my staff. Okay, this is what we are doing. This is how many kimonos we have to sell, or this is how much stuff what we are producing within so time. I know how much each person should be producing per month to be able to make the kind of money that we want to make to run the kind of business that we run. So it's actually pretty easy. Just factor in all those things: your fabric, your thread, your everything that made that clothes what it is, and then the time that you spent. So yeah, the hours we spent really matters, but that's even what adds to the value of the clothes. Thank you. Any more questions, please? I need to hurry. I have a meeting for 12.
Thank you so very much. Yes, actually finished. I know. Quick one, please. I want Gillian to ask a question. Like, Lily, Gillian, please make it fast. About you, John. Mute yourself.
Yes, I have. Good morning, ma. Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for this opportunity to learn. My question is, citing the numbers that back up your identified problem. I've tried to research numbers that can back up my identified problem in fish farming, right? But I can hardly find any. So how do you get numbers that can actually back up what you've identified as a problem? Again, can you, after making your calculation during pitching, can you mention any losses? Would that affect your qualification? Would it affect you being chosen if you mention some of the mistakes or errors that have been made and how you intend to fix that?
Okay. Thanks for the question. Let me start with the last one. It's okay to mention losses, but do not dwell on it. If you mention a loss, you need to mention how you turned it over. That's the risk and the mitigation. So that's why, that business plan we did, like, what are the things that could happen? How do you intend to forestall it? So if you had a loss, like I talked about my own loss about 2M plus, and I talked about what I did to regain my capital spent in that production. Understood? So if something is too good to be true, it is too good to be true. There's no business that does not have losses. So it's just realistic that you mention it. However, do not dwell on it, and you dwell instead on how you were able to quickly turn it over and what you learned from that stuff. That's why some of us are here today. I can tell you about the pitches I've gone to pitch for and I did not win the grant, but I took the lessons from it and I'm working on it so that the next time I'm pitching again, I know what to say and what not to say and how to say it. So losses are a part of life. The failures are a part of life. They are even an important ingredient to the success eventually, because a lot of people who succeeded failed very well. Very, very well. Now, talking about the figures that you want to quote, there are sites that you need to be on to get the actual figures. There's Statista, there's Nigeria Bureau of Statistics, I think. There's WHO. You need to know the keywords you are looking for, so it will direct you. Research is broad, so you don't stop searching until you find the actual numbers. And then you do also, apart from the numbers you find on internet, you can carry out a survey. Come up with a questionnaire, do a survey to address a particular answer you are looking for. So you can get your answers from that. You fill questionnaires. A lot of people send you, please help me fill this questionnaire. So they will say, out of maybe 1,000 respondents, we're able to get 54 people said this, 900 and something said this, 800 people said this, So you do all of that on your own. Then there are certain sites you go to that have the figures. I know there's Nigeria Bureau of Statistics and there's Statista, and then there are some other ones too, other companies that do research, so the figures are usually there. So don't stop searching until you find what you're looking for and what looks genuine enough. So that will help you. I hope I'll be able to answer you. Okay. Thank you very much. Can I go now? Can I run along?
Yes, you'll be able to answer. Yeah. Thank you so very much.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you for having me.
I really appreciate for coming. Thank you. All the kisses from here, man.
Yeah.
Thank
Bye.
you so much.
Bye. Love you all.
So very much.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.